Today on the channel, finally, after so many years, I can finally do the Bartman with Bartman Super 7 Ultimate.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Super 7 Ultimate unboxing and review. And today on the channel, like I said, we're doing the Bartman with Bartman Super 7 Ultimate Edition. But for all your Super 7 needs, of course, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10% on in-stock items. Anything over $79 does ship free. You can also go to the own Super 7 store, go over there, put in code KyleP at checkout to support this very YouTube channel. Gotta get a deal out there no matter which way you do it. There it goes. But of course, we're gonna do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're gonna take a look at the packaging. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna unbox it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna see where it goes from there. And we're truly gonna do the Bartman. Probably the only time we'll do the Bartman here with this Super 7 line, as we do know this line is unfortunately canceled. It looks like we will get waves 3 and 4 in March and April of this year, so coming very quick. But after that, it sounds like it's a done deal, and it is extremely unfortunate, as I was really looking forward to this toy line to really grow and expand throughout the years. Really a new modern World of Springfield line, I'll bet at a higher price point. But I've really enjoyed these figures. Series 1 was an amazing set. As we dig into Series 2, I have some of the same hopes for an amazing set out of this one. It's just an absolute travesty, which we talked about in Series 1 unboxings, that they didn't give us the core family. That should be a watch out in the future to Super 7 to give us heavy hitters at the get-go. I'm fine with some deep cuts, maybe one deep cut per wave, but you got to get out the core members before the line ends. You could have a situation like this where we didn't even get the core family, which is just an absolute travesty and really makes a lot of people want to dive out of this line already. I guarantee some of you watching this said, you know what? It's canceled. I know who's coming out. I'm not even going to waste my time with this line, which is very unfortunate for Super 7, of course. So really would have been better if we at least got the core family members. There would be a lot of people say, hey, there's my collection. I'm good with that. They could have moved on from there. I know what Super 7 was doing. They were putting that business hat on, said, hey, we'll mix in a family member every once in a while here and there, keep people coming back, because if you put the whole series, or whole Series 1 Simpson family members together, all of a sudden it's like, well, I just needed Series 1, I'm done. They don't want that either. So it's really a give and take, but really, the first couple of waves, you've got to finish off the core members of a team or a family in this instance. That's my business hat. That's my opinion. You guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But let's dive into the old Bartman here. Closest thing we're going to get to a Bart Simpson in the line, it looks like. And I guess some really good customizers out there, you could probably turn this into a Bart Simpson figure if you wanted to. Would be really cool if somehow you could maybe make this. I'm sure somebody could do it. They could paint one of these heads to be standard Bart Simpson, and bam, you got a Bart Simpson figure. Or maybe somebody with technology these days, you could get us a Bart Simpson head, 3D printed or something like that. So there's a little opportunity, a little glimmer of hope with this one, if you ask me. But there's old Bart. You got the hands, you got the skateboard, you got Santa's little helper, and then, of course, you got some extra heads and a comic book there, an interesting-looking pack. Nothing too fun on the sides there. Ultimate on the top. On the back, it is the Bartman right there, and it does say, let's see, appears in 3 Men in a Comic Book, Season 2, Episode 21. Original air date, May 9th, 1991. So really kicking it old school with this one. I did forget, we do get the slip cover here. No cardboard outer shell, but we did get the slip cover right there, The Simpsons. And there's old Bartman looking like a Batman, kind of, is what he looks like there. We're going to give that the old see you later. Goodbye. And we're going to get old Bartman out of the package. We're going to see once and for all what all the fuss is about. Got that beautiful Simpsons background there looking very, very nice. Love that. See you later. Goodbye. And oh my goodness, does this smell like a factory? Woo! And I can barely smell, as we've talked about before on the channel right here. But boy, oh boy, does that smell like a factory at the end of the day. There it is. Bust this out. There's old Santa's little helper with comic book. And then you got the old Bartman right there. And like I said, all those extra accessories with him. Gonna get both of these out of the plastic prison. We'll be back talking all things Bartman. All right, we got Bartman out of the package. Let's dive into the accessories first before we work our way into the figures. Yes, you heard it right, figures. But we do get a skateboard here, very on brand for Bart Simpson, very on brand for Bartman. And when I think of Bart as Bartman, I think of, was it Bart Saves the World, the old school Nintendo game? I remember loving that game when I was a really little kid. I believe that's what it was called. And I could see if they actually did release a regular Bart Simpson down the line, they'd probably get the most out of their molds, probably give us this skateboard again in like a red or orange color. I could see that happening. But it is a real working skateboard. It does have a peg stand on it, so instead of having to use a stand, you can use this if you need to. Green with a little racing stripe, purple wheels, looking good. It is a skateboard at the end of the day. We also get a little bird's nest going on right here. We got shattered little pieces of comic book inside there. Very unfortunate when a bird gets your comic book. We've all been there. We've all been there for sure. A little bird on here does not remove anything like that, but a straight up bird's nest. One of those accessories you can use for a different line if you really wanted to as well, but cool enough for what it is. Then we keep on going. Of course, a comic book, Radioactive Man, Bart's favorite as we do know. Straight up regular comic book. You could put this in as an Easter egg with your Ninja Turtles if you wanted to, but it is a Radioactive Man comic book, looking very good. And of course, we got a slingshot that is Bartman and Bart's #1 go-to weapon here. Like a young Dennis the Menace at the end of the day, like a young Jay North. Shout out to both Mr. Wilsons. I love both Mr. Wilsons equally. I'm sure you did too. Who didn't? But shout out to Dennis the Menace. That's where he got this from. But a slingshot of doom, ready to go. Eagle eye with that thing at the end of the day. Now we get down to the hand department. We got kind of the hero hands going on out of the package. And then we get some other hands here. We do get an accessory hand with a handful of dollar bills. He's going to the comic book store guy, a figure we'd love to have as well. And he's reaching up there to hand him some money for a comic book. So you do have that hand. Then we get down to the other hands. We got two fists of Bartman Fury. When the chips are down, the punches, they come in bunches, and Bartman's got some fists going on there. We got two splayed out hands, of course, if he's skateboarding, he's doing one of those kind of things if he needs to. And then we got two gripping hands, of course, going to need this for the slingshot. You got to at least use one of these hands for the slingshot in your display, no doubt about it. So an interesting bevy, yes, a bevy of accessories with this one here. Not tons and tons, but I feel like we get enough to be dangerous, that's for sure. But the final accessory, but I'm going to call it a figure because there is articulation on it. It is Santa's Little Helper, of course, the dog of the Simpsons. We all remember that Christmas episode at the racetrack where they got Santa's Little Helper here. But he does got articulation on his legs. Just the front legs, however, and then the head side to side. So a good articulation right there. Nothing else besides that. Looks just like Santa's Little Helper. Has a comic book in his mouth. Another bad day at the office for the Bartman, of course. He's got the white eyes. And he's got a little Todd McFarlane couch side eye. Todd's giving it to me right now. We're going to have a side eye contest between Todd and I. We're both looking at each other with side eye as we're doing this review right here. But he does got some of that McFarlane side-eye. Got the black nose as well, brown color throughout. A good one, a great one to have, of course, with the Simpsons family. You need Snowball, you need Santa's Little Helper, you need the couch. Have to imagine if this line would have continued, we would have had all of that eventually. Who knows? But Santa's Little Helper looking good with the Bartman here. But now we get down to Bartman himself. We're going to go through the three heads here. Three heads for this one. Right out of the package, you got the purple cowl, we'll call it. Of course, Bartman on all three of these. Like I said, you're a good customizer. Paint one of these to match the skin tone, and bam, you got a Bart Simpson figure. Can see a lot of people wanting that. But looking good. This is Happy Bartman. Big smiling teeth showing. Got the ears, got the nose, got the big eyes going on. Looking very excited, looking very happy. I think he's buying a comic book right here. Next head, a little bit more concerned. He's got a little scared face on him. He's got some weeping eyes. The eyes aren't as big. He is a frightened Bartman. He has been challenged to a game of to the death. A duel to the death is what he's been charged with, and he's got that going on right there. And then the third and final head, it looks like he's been hanging out with Cheech, and don't forget Tommy Chong, Cheech and Chong. He looks a little bit like he's been under the medicine spell or something. He's a little sleepy maybe. Who knows what's going on? No bloodshot eyes or anything like that, but he is a little bit tired there. You do see a little of those eyelids going on. The mouth is totally closed on this. You got the two ears, the eyes, the nose, of course, and all the spikes on the head across the board, the same thing going on. So, three head sculpts. I don't know. I think I'll probably keep the one out of the package is probably the way I'm going to go with this one here. Happy to report, like a young Lando Calrissian. Shout out to Lando. Shout out to old friend Billy D. Williams. We do got a cape on this one, and I'm happy to report. Soft goods, happy to report. It does have wire in the cape. You always put the wire in the cape. So you can have him on a skateboard. He's chugging down the street there, and he's blowing in the wind like a young Bob Dylan at the end of the day. Love the cape on this one tied around the head. Obviously, you pop the head off. You can slide this off if you don't want the cape on there. I mean, you can really make him Bart Simpson if you could just change the heads on him. There's no doubt. Same thing around the waist. You got a utility belt. You got a video game controller as a belt buckle. Easily could slide off if you wanted to. So really a 2-in-1 figure. Would love to see Super 7. I keep going back to it. Can they get us ahead in time before the line is up? Can they throw it in as an extra accessory or something? Would be great to just have a classic Bart Simpson. I'd buy another one of these characters just to be able to do that if I could. Who knows? Of course, Simpsons yellow skin on these figures. It does look just like the Simpsons, the yellow skin tone color. You do got the short sleeve shirt on Bart here, his patented outfit, the blue shorts, the blue shoes, the white trim on them. Straight up Bart Simpson all day long, or Bartman in this case. Articulation, we talked about the head being removable, up, down, side to side. Plenty of articulation there. Arm does go around very tight. I do like that. Up and down, of course. We do get side to side, up and down, single jointed elbows. Hands removable, back, forth, side to side. No, yep, I was going to say no waist articulation, but yes, there is. It's underneath the shirt there, looking good, feeling good. Leg does go up. Leg does go a little bit of splits action if you need it. Single jointed knees, side to side. Ankles up and down, side to side. Just a small figure here for old Bartman, though, as you can imagine. But a figure that looks really, really good, and it is just very disappointing. This should have been Bart Simpson, in all honesty, like we were talking about. This should have been the Bart Simpson figure here in Series 2. Series 5, Series 6, give me a Bartman. But Series 2 should have been the classic Bart Simpson. Ay caramba, indeed. Indeed. But still, all that aside, I guess, all that aside, it is still a really fun figure. It is a great figure. One that opens itself up to an easy repaint if that's what you want to do. It's just a little unfortunate the whole twist and turns this line did take, and one of the most exciting lines to one of the most disappointing lines overnight. It really did feel that way to me. I don't know about you, but you guys, let me know about you in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on the Simpsons Super 7 line. Where do we go from here? There's a lot of rumors going around. Jakks? Yes, Jakks. Speaking of Jakks, how about the Jakks Classic Superstars? I want to put it upside to right. Jakks Classic Superstars book by yours truly, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. But speaking of Jakks, whenever you say their name, you got to pull the book out. Sounds like they might have the Simpsons license. We might have some Simpsons figures coming. I guess stay tuned to that. More info on that soon. We'll see what ends up happening there. But the Jakks Classic Superstars book available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Thank you guys and gals for supporting the book, of course. But this one, let me know your thoughts. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget the Patreon channel for early access to videos like this and all the other videos on the channel, of course. Don't forget ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So, for one last time, we do the Bartman. And I'm Kyle. This is Bartman. I'll see you guys all real soon.